This male protagonist is so miserable as a low-level adventurer, but dreams of becoming the highest level of adventurer. As a result, I was slapped in the face by reality. As soon as I entered the maze, I crashed into a super high-level dragon, eaten by each other in one bite. After the digestion is clean and pulled out, then become the skeleton soldier at the bottom of the magic chain. Not even a piece of trash. And he had to make up his mind. One day I will become Gu Outyen. Desperate start. How are you going to live after that? The man's name is Ryder. It's the lowest level adventurer. In order to survive, I can only get up early and greedy for tasks. Study hard every day. Go to bed earlier than chickens. But without talent, no one wants to team up with him. You can only swipe the lowest level of the dungeon maze. I never expected it. I found a hidden passage deep in the labyrinth. Inside is an unexplored area. Ryder is happy if you can find valuable props. Isn't it a bicycle that becomes a motorcycle? Little did he know that he entered the boss's room. There was only a super high-level dragon waiting for him inside. Just give him a second. Wait until he wakes up again. Become a lower-level skeleton soldier of the Undead. If you go back to the city, I am afraid that you will be killed on the spot. At this moment, he was utterly devastated. I just want to get out of the maze as soon as possible. Just went out. Another unarmed skeleton soldier. Scared, Ryder quickly prepared to attack. As a result, there is no muscle. Physical ability plummets. Can't even lift a sword. Fortunately, this game is bad people pecking each other. The skeleton soldier on the opposite side can fall flat on a walk. I broke my leg. This gave Ryder a chance. Utilize life-based power to strengthen attacks. One move blew the skull soldier's head off. The defeated skeleton soldier shone with golden light into Ryder's body. At the same time, the energy consumed just now has also recovered. It reminded him of a monster. The characteristics can be gained through experience. Evolve into a higher being. This is completely different from the way humans get stronger through training. Ryder finally saw hope. As long as he can evolve into a ghoul and gain muscle, you can hide your face with equipment. Back to the human world. After killing 5 skeleton soldiers in a row, Ryder is just beginning to master this body. Next, he wants to challenge stronger monsters. So I met Slime again. Ryder was secretly excited, approaching quietly to prepare for a sneak attack. Unexpectedly, it was discovered by Slime. The backhand is a hair acid, although it was almost sprayed, but he still stabbed the slime to the core. A kill in an instant. I feel like my strength has increased a little. 2.5 days passed in a blink of an eye. Ryder found himself with no sleep or appetite at all. After this period of experimentation, he found that whether it was a magic buff or a holy buff can be added through this body. So, he started planning for the future. At present, he can only face 1 or 2 monsters at the same time. Any more, you'll have to die on the spot. So we can only break them one by one. Ryder can't help but sigh. What a bad person. Keep practicing every day. I persisted for 10 years. Finally, a piece of crap. Dreams are always out of reach. But he still doesn't want to give up. Even if you become a skeleton soldier. He also wants to be Gu Outyen. After killing the monster again, Ryder was surprised to find he is already stronger than he was when he was human. With the slime also turned into a stunning bag, Ryder burst into heat. Muscles begin to multiply, although it has become a living corpse face, but better than the skeleton soldiers. Just then, the clash of other weapons came from the labyrinth. It turned out that a new adventurer broke in, fighting fiercely with the lowest level skeleton soldiers. The two sides hit each other like a bad person pecking. Seeing the girl being forced into the corner by the enemy, Ryder had to come to the rescue. Defeated the skeletons in one blow. Then he screamed and wanted to communicate with the girl. The little girl is scared. I wish I could fight him on the spot. To show that he is not a threat, Ryder took the initiative to lay down his weapon and explain your identity word by word. After some twists and turns, The girl finally realizes that Ryder is an adventurer. I also noticed that he is different from ordinary monsters. He quickly thanked him for saving his life. Apparently, the little girl still doesn't believe him. Ryder had to ask him to do him a favor. That is to go to town and buy a dress and come back. Then he took out a large bag of money and threw it on the ground. The girl agreed to his request and said she was Lena from a family of knights. I will definitely repay this life-saving grace. After leaving the maze, Lena immediately went to the Lady of the Union for help. Not long ago, he returned to the labyrinth with a large bag of luggage. There's a whole set of gear inside. Ryder is grateful for this. But after changing into clothes, the face of the living corpse is still conspicuous. I didn't expect Lena to even prepare a mask. Ryder is happy to put it on quickly. I didn't expect it to matter. I can't take it off after that. I'm afraid this is not a ghost eater, right? Nah, this dish is Frank. This mask was bought at a roadside stall. I didn't expect it to be a curse item. Even if you use holy fun to expel the curse, you can't take it off. But Ryder wasn't angry either. Tell Lena not to blame herself. This sentence also convinced Lena. Ryder is definitely not a bad person. The two then rode back to town in a carriage. When you arrive at the town entrance, the guards saw at a glance that something was wrong with Ryder. Let him take off his mask on the spot. Lena had to come forward to explain. Said it was a cursed mask that couldn't be removed. If you don't believe me, try it. Okay, go, Ray. You are out of luck when the guard calls out. Finally put people in. As soon as I entered the city, Ryder quickly ran away. He knew Lena was a good girl. Stinky fish and rotten shrimp like myself. He doesn't deserve to be his teammate at all. So he decided to wait until he recovered more like a human. Apologized to him again. Then Ryder found his best friend, monster scholar Norino. Ask him to help see what to do. Look at Ryder's hand. Norino knew this kid must be in big trouble, but he was still willing to believe in Ryder. Willing to help Ryder go to the Union to take the task. Katie and Ryder live together. In return, Ryder is going to help him with his research, provide body samples. The next day, Norino helped Ryder exchange the materials for cash. Ryder is going to the blacksmith shop to have a look. Although the large purse makes him feel happy, but the strange eyes of passers-by on the road, it made him very uneasy. After arriving at the blacksmith shop, he handed the accessories to the receptionist. Look at the degree of wear and tear of the sword. Just see through the identity of Ryder. The owner of the weapon store said, before the new weapon is forged, you can use this backup weapon first. Solve everything. Ryder left in a hurry, and the two watched his back lost in thought. They all think, this nice guy must be in trouble. That's why I can't tell. After going back, Ryder made dinner for Norino. This is also the tacit understanding between the two. Ryder, in human time, learn all kinds of things at Norino. As a price, he will take care of everything. Norino told Ryder he was clearly different from the other ghouls, because after ordinary people become undead, almost impossible to maintain the original personality. Maybe it has something to do with why he can evolve. To become more human, Ryder must continue to fight monsters in the maze to level up. The next day, he came across a dish that even a slime couldn't beat. Uncle Chicken Ryder rescued him in time. They didn't want to talk to each other. Turn around and leave, because the other party may also be pretending to be a new bad guy. But the uncle keeps chasing Ryder to follow him. It turns out that the uncle is just an ordinary chef. His store is having financial problems. Anyway, you need to save 15 gold coins in a week. So, I thought about taking a gamble in the maze. Ryder didn't want to meddle, but suddenly, he remembered the hidden area he had discovered earlier. I need someone to help bring the news to the Union. So, he let the tree follow him. The tree is happy. Say you can do anything. Ryder looked at the big tree in front of him. Attention is unconsciously focused on the wound of the tree. He also began to crave flesh and blood. Then the two came to the hidden area. The uncle discovered a narrow passage. Just as Ryder entered the room, he saw the red teleportation array on the ground. But the uncle cannot see this obvious trap. Teleported directly to an unknown area. When Ryder catches up, Uncle has been laid on the ground, and the enemy is an oversized giant skeleton. Ryder had no choice but to use Holy Attribute Enchantment. Slash it with one move. It was directly broken to the leg backbone. Then Ryder fired another lantern sword. Killed the monster on the spot. A valuable magic stone was also revealed. Ryder promised to give the magic stone to the man, and then he showed his withered arm. It means that this is the result of being cursed by a monster, so it's hard to get into shops or unions. He wants men to be his surrogates. Plus you can eat free at his restaurant anytime. Here the conditions are so simple. The uncle gratefully agreed. Wait until the two return to the hotel. The lady boss came out to welcome the uncle. I learned that Ryder gave her husband such a big magic stone. His wife is still worried about him, deceived by the bad guys again. The other party is not a good person at first glance. Thanks to the uncle's timely explanation, the misunderstanding was avoided. Both of them expressed their heartfelt gratitude to Ryder. I can't wait to treat him to dinner immediately. But Ryder turned around and left. His mind has gradually become out of his control. The subconscious is increasingly hungry for flesh and blood. If the uncle is a liar who turns his face against others, then he will eat people on the spot. Ryder forcefully returned to Norino's hut, and I hugged him. Norino was so embarrassed that he even thought of the child's name. Unexpectedly, what was ushered in was a bloody mouth. At this moment, Ryder has completely lost his mind. Call your friends delicious. Forced Norino to use the sun fist. One move can give Ryder a dry party. It wasn't until midnight that Ryder woke up. Wait until he sees Norino. Immediately remember what just happened. So, I immediately apologized to Norino. Norino didn't blame him, because it was an accident. After learning about Ryder's experience today, only then did he know that this was the impact of playing the boss and getting experience. Then Ryder wants to see his injury. Norino reluctantly opened the white coat. The wound on the shoulder is still oozing blood at the moment. Ryder immediately resorted to healing. This is also the first time Norino has received holy energy treatment. Far more comfortable and warm than imagined. After treatment, only shallow teeth marks remain from his scars. But Ryder still asked for continued treatment. I didn't stop until I couldn't see a trace. And Norino noticed something. He told Ryder to take off his clothes. I saw that his body had become stronger. It turned out that without realizing it, Ryder has got to evolve again. When he wants to see the changes in his face. But the shape of the mask is also different. You can change according to your mind. And not only that, I even speak a lot more fluently now. Maybe it's eaten. The impact of Norino's flesh and blood. Today's Ryder is closer to the ghoul. That is, monsters lower than inferior vampires. And Norino speculated. Tech. Likely to evolve in the direction it wants. Therefore, as long as he works hard enough, maybe you can really become a vampire. But then evolution. It's possible to do more than just take down monsters. Want to be a vampire? There must be some special condition. And so they did an experiment. Turns out the poison had no effect on Ryder at all. But the recovery potions and potions worked for him. And as a ghoul, he doesn't need to sleep at all. It seems. The only trouble is the instinct to crave flesh and blood. While he was struggling with it, Norino handed him a small bottle. It contains Norino's blood. Just one drop can control his appetite. He's so gentle. Next, Ryder plans to go to the guild. After all, he wants to continue to upgrade. You have to be delegated. But to take the mission, you have to show your adventurer ID. Once Ryder shows up, it's sure to cause a big uproar. Although his strength is very weak. But he has done a lot for the Union in the past 10 years. Everyone has long been impressed by him, even considering inviting him to work for a union. It's just that Ryder has no plans to retire. So, I never mentioned it. Hear this. Ryder was slightly surprised. but he still has to stick to his dream. You have to be the most advanced adventurer. So Norino gave him another idea. It is better to learn from the ancient king. Create a new identity. Rejoin the guild. Lighter thinks this method is reliable. Went to the Adventurers Guild the next day. Find an old acquaintance, Miss Sheila, at the front desk. Here's a registration form. Sheila sees the form, and I was shocked, because Ultek's newly registered name is still Tech. Except he changed his last name to Norino's. I want to be a relative of Norino. Start your adventure journey again. But Sheila remembered the missing rider. What a picture. Sure. After getting the new cavalry adventurer, Lighter came to the Water Moon Labyrinth again to explore giant skeletons. Another teleportation array next to the room. It ended up being teleported to a dusty hut. There's only one broken bed inside. And there's a skeleton. Just as he was about to explore, a noble woman's voice suddenly came from behind. I haven't waited for Ryder to explain. Mrs. Turtle regarded him as a thief. Then I started to get the fire shield. Just fly Ryder out. All his clothes were burned. Just as Mrs. Turtle was about to start again, I saw Ryder's ghoul body. So, I instantly understood why he was here. Then apologized to Ryder. Burn his clothes. And took off his cape as an apology to Ryder. Please don't tell anyone about this place. In return, he gave Ryder another one. A map that can automatically record the route of the maze. I haven't waited for Ryder to react. He was teleported back to the exit of the Water Moon Labyrinth. After the end, Norino was also drunk after hearing this experience. This is outrageous. Open the damn door. Crazy home. And Norino started to study the map. I found out that this thing also comes with real-time positioning function. It's simply a national treasure artifact. For the identity of that lady. The two discussed for a long time without any clues. I can only think of it as an alien expert. The next day, Lighter came to the Water Moon Labyrinth again. I still want to see that lady again. It's a pity that the teleportation array has been completely poisoned. Obviously told her not to. Come again. It seems that there is only one chance for adventure. Due to the wealth of experience that Ryder has accumulated in the junior level, low-level tasks can't be difficult for him at all. Sheila recommended him to take the upgrade exam. This way you can take on more advanced tasks. And so Rhett took the test. Teamed up with the rookies to complete the quests entrusted by the guild. His little friend is the impulsive redhead and the quiet purple-haired girl. Their mission is based on the guild's maze map. Get to the designated location as quickly as possible. Naruto is scrambling to enter the labyrinth, but Ryder stopped two teammates. He went to the store first. Then, under the puzzled eyes of the two teammates, bought a maze map from the boss. This makes the two rookie teammates even more confused. Obviously, the Adventurer Guild has a map for issuing quests. Why bother? But after Ryder asked the two to compare, and they understood, it turns out that the guild map is already an old version 15 years ago. The instructions on the new map are more detailed. Even the traps are marked. Sure enough, it's cool to have an old bird leading the way. After entering the maze, the three encountered a large group of skeleton soldiers. Ryder took the lead in fighting. It didn't take long to wipe out the enemy. However, he found that these creatures are not naturally occurring. He was lured here. Ryder immediately became alert. Tell your teammates there may be an ambush ahead. Sure enough, the next second, they met their opponent. Ryder quickly took down the archer and the sorcerer. The red-haired brother and the purple-haired girl also cooperate very well. Defeated the remaining enemies together. Ryder told the Tooth Sainyao, the most taboo thing for risk-takers is negligence. This test is not just a test of their combat effectiveness. We test them. Is it suitable to be a true adventurer? After this battle, the red-haired emperor finally put away his arrogance. He expressed that he would definitely listen to Lighter's command in the future. And they moved on, came to the boss's door. The hair girl and the redhead brother are obviously nervous, because they've never fought a maze leader before. Ryder comforted them again. There is no shame in avoiding unwinnable battles. Just then, another group of examinees also arrived. Not only did they rant and tell them to stay back, he even tried to flirt with a purple-haired girl. The redhead immediately stood up and prepared to fight. In the end, Ryder let the other party go in first. A few people thought they had picked up a big bargain, rushed into the boss's room. I didn't expect to be beaten and screamed in the next second, fleeing on the spot. It turned out that the union arranged staff inside. Simulate leader battle. Although you don't have to worry about being killed. But the redhead knew very well, if he backs down now, then he'll never be a true adventurer. Therefore, he and the purple-haired girl decided to bite the bullet and challenge each other. The heroic words make Ryder look at it differently, because this is what it takes to be an adventurer. But when I went in, I found that the boss was a big slime. LTT reminds in advance. Physical attacks are useless against slime. He needs the purple-haired girl to use the fire shield against him. The red-haired emperor volunteered to fight for casting time. Seeing that he can't take it anymore, Ryder just took action to suppress the slime, then introduce a fire shield. Fireball. One hit smashed the slime to pieces. After the final replenishment knife breaks the magic stone, to defeat it completely. As a result, a few adventurers want to take advantage of the next second. Get to the finish line first. This time, the children are not in a hurry. Just quietly watch them eat turtles in front of you. The guy who took advantage before. All got drunk by the hypnotic gas before the finish line. It turned out that the union did not say. Those who arrive first are considered to have passed the truth. Positive test. It tests their judgment and thinking skills. This is the quality that an adventurer must have. And the three of them made it to the finish line. Received a reward for potions and storage bags. After getting the guild, Sheila also received a review report about them. In fact, from the very beginning, the guild has always had people secretly observing. Evaluate their character and performance. These can only be upgraded after passing the level. I have to. This review is really strict. After sending off the two little guys, Sheila wants to talk to Ryder alone. It turned out that he had seen through Ryder's true identity. Just never said it. Ryder thought Sheila is going to pursue him as a union. He may also be reported to the higher-ups as a monster. But unexpectedly, Sheila had no such intention. He simply cares about Ryder. I want to know what he has been through during this time. And what surprised Ryder even more was that Sheila even pulled out a magic contract. Said that as long as he revealed Ryder's identity secret, will become a slave to Ryder. Ryder doesn't understand at all. Why would Sheila do this? Anatino, high heel Nesco. Shelley's words finally moved Ryder. After signing the contract, Ryder also revealed his true appearance and confessed that his current identity is immortal. What I didn't expect was Shelley not only did not hate Ryder for this, instead, he was willing to help him cover up his identity in the guild, save him from unnecessary trouble. Then the two went to Norino's house together and quietly told Ryder confidential information. Let him pay attention to recent developments, because recently, quite a few novice adventurers have disappeared one after another. The guild has begun to suspect. This is a string of kidnappings. And the weird-looking Ryder. It is the focus of suspicion within the guild. So Ryder has to move more carefully. Don't let anyone catch the handle. After that, Ryder could finally take on other tasks. But he accepted a task that only paid him a copper coin. The content is to collect a dragon blood flower. This flower only grows in poisonous swamps. No one wants to go at all. Only Ryder doesn't care how much it pays. And I took the commission. The next morning, Ryder went to the orphanage that initiated the commission. He was greeted by a little blonde sister. Children meet adventurers for the first time, immediately surrounded by excitement. After some communication, Ryder learned this commission was issued by the blonde girl. The dragon blood painting of the material is very rare. It's almost impossible to buy. Ryder needs to know why he wants this painting. The blonde girl promised to tell him the reason. Therefore, took Ryder to meet the head of the orphanage, Lillian. As soon as Lillian saw him, I thought Ryder was here to help clean out the basement, because there are monsters in the basement recently. It turns out that Lillian has a strange disease of evil energy accumulation. Want to cure this disease? You can only use dragon blood flower to prepare medicines. See this. Ryder accepted the commission without hesitation. He also decided to clean up the monsters in the basement. Privately, it has become a devil's house mouse nest. See someone breaking into the territory. The lead mouse directly let the other mouse brothers escape. Then he rushed towards the Thunderhead. Bite him hard. And here's the amazing thing. After the mouse sucked Ryder's blood, turned into a little black mouse, and completely at the command of Ryder. So Ryder took the pet home, and Norino was surprised to see this. Ryder is like a vampire, with the ability to make curly mice. The next morning, Ryder arrived at the poison swamp. As expected, he was attacked by a dragon subspecies on the way, soon driven to the edge of a cliff. In desperation, Light can only fight to the death with the dragon subspecies. But whether using magic, or is it a big move to merge magic and strength, it has no effect on the dragon subspecies. Just when Ryder had no choice, the little black rat suddenly rushed out of him. It actually launched the holy attribute. Then he rushed directly into the other party's mouth. But the little black mouse didn't die. Instead, it was vomited by the dragon subspecies that felt uncomfortable. Seeing this, Ryder also understood something. I didn't expect this to be used for healing of holy attributes. That's the weakness of the dragon subspecies. Then enchant a set of snakeskin positions on the big sword. Dodge attack. Connect a lantern sword. In an instant, the black-faced dragon's skull exploded. After Ryder put his body in the storage bag, finally found the riverbank full of dragon blood flowers. Just as Ryder was about to collect, another uninvited guest came behind. Ryder sees the gray-haired man appear. Get nervous immediately. After all, those who can come here are experts. But the gray-haired man didn't care about Ryder's vigilance. Just say that you brought a bunch of equipment to come here. Instead, Ryder, who carries nothing, looks like a monster. I learned that the gray-haired man is just a squire. It's to help the head of the family come out to collect the dragon blood flower. Ryder was a little relieved. Then I picked dragon blood flowers with the gray-haired man. Unexpectedly, after the gray-haired man learned that Ryder was an adventurer, he actually submitted a commission directly to him. I want to hire Ryder for a long time to collect dragon blood flowers here. There is no reason to refuse such a good thing. And Letter gladly accepted the task. Then he went back to the guild to find Sheila. Have him contact the staff who dissects the subspecies dragon. Sheila was shocked. The subspecies dragon is a boss that needs a team to brush. Ryder actually partied for him alone. Scared, Ryder hurriedly told him to keep a low profile. Then Sheila took Ryder to the Union slaughterhouse. Let the dissection uncle quickly decompose various rare materials. The dissecting uncle found it at a glance. This dragon subspecies remains very intact. Apparently, it was killed by a single blow. He suspected that Ryder was a silver adventurer. Even Sheila left the slaughterhouse. Congratulations to Light's strength for upgrading to silver. But only Ryder himself knows the reason why the strength has increased. It's all because of this immortality. Of course, he also wants to become human again. But he also thought to himself, after turning back into a human, will the strength be the same as before? No talent or room for growth. Just keep trying every day. Perhaps only the self with the body of the devil. To move towards the highest dreams. The next day, Lighter came to the orphanage to deliver the task. Apothecaries were amazed by this almost perfect material. After all, it's not easy to gather in that swamp. Also to prevent Yalong's attack. See everyone's confidence in these high-quality medicinal materials. Ryder donated more dragon blood flowers without hesitation. I only hope to help more people. The blonde girl is very grateful for this. Said that Ryder's appearance inspired him. He also wanted to be an adventurer like Ryder. Ryder encouraged him to learn some magic for self-defense and was willing to lend him money to teach. This made the blonde girl very happy, decided to pay him back with interest in the future. However, Norino was a little dissatisfied with this. I think Ryder should be careful when talking to young girls. He's straight after all. Don't be kidnapped and don't even know. Ryder also expressed helplessness about this. I've never met a young girl. Norino was furious on the spot. Scared, Ryder hurriedly said compliments for half an hour. Just made Norino happy. It seems that if you want to survive, you have to be able to coax your wife. Soon after, Ryder received a commission from an ancient family. He then remembered that this should be the arrangement of the gray-haired man. When he came to the family's territory, the entrance turned out to be a labyrinth. The guard told him, all generations of the family have been collectors of Magic Island dramas. This labyrinth of open courtyards. It was generated with the Magic Island drama. The road inside can change at any time, as long as you can successfully pass through the courtyard maze. Arrive at the house. Can get a Magic Island drama from the master. Ryder was stunned. What a rich family. After all, Magic Island dramas can't be bought with money. So, I'm going to challenge it right away. But as he walked, Ryder realized that something was wrong. Not only is the maze map useless, and I can't remember the direction of the road at all. Just when he felt he had nowhere to go, met an elegant and mysterious woman. Also invited Ryder to rest, and the magic prop poured him a pot of tea. This blurry as long as it is tea that has been brewed. It can be presented countless times, even without tea leaves. One is worth hundreds of platinum coins. Ryder was envious when he heard it, because just an ordinary person. It can't be spent in a lifetime. Unexpectedly, the next second, woman discovers Ryder's mask is also a magic saw. I also want to buy it at a high price, although Ryder wanted to sell it. It's a pity that the mask can't be taken off at all. In the end, it's just toys. After a short break, Ryder challenges the maze again. Women also give tips not to look at the sun. And soon enough, Rhett noticed something strange in the sky. Discovered that space shifts within the maze. Finally, it was already evening when Dunlett walked out of the labyrinth. It turns out that the elegant woman I met before. It is the head of this ancient family. This female patriarch is also true to her word. Bring Ryder to the collection room. There are thousands of magic items in it. Let him pick anyone. Although Ryder really wants to choose a fun one. But in the end I decided I wanted a practical magic show. The female head of the family asked him to focus his consciousness on the magic airship. But unexpectedly, I got the perspective of the airship. This thing is too good for a spy plane. The only drawback is that it requires more magic power. You have to use it carefully. And they came to a corner. What is stored here is not a magic item. It's material collected from monsters, used to make various drugs or weapons. After Let enters the material, just for a moment, he was attracted to a bottle of red liquid inside. The head of the house said it was vampire blood. Rumor has it that if you drink it, you can become a vampire. But actually, whoever drinks it will die of madness. Even if you are lucky enough to survive, you will become a cripple. Although the risk is particularly high. But Ryder still chose this bottle of blood in the end. The female head of the family is also generous. I also gave the Magic Island airship to Ryder. When Ryder got home, he took out the vampire blood presented by the female head. His instincts told him, just drink it and there's a huge change. But Norino was afraid it was too dangerous. After all, whoever drinks this doesn't end well. So I hope he doesn't drink it. He didn't even care that Ryder was a corpse face all his life. It's enough to stay in this house. But Ryder certainly doesn't want to. In order to become the most advanced adventurer, he had to take the risk. Norino doesn't understand. Ask him why he is so obsessed with the most advanced adventurer. Seth asked. Ryder finally revealed the reason for everything. It turned out that he was timid and introverted when he was a child, and his childhood sweetheart, but full of expectations for a new world. He also promised him that he would become an adventurer to protect him. But on a return journey, they were attacked by a she-wolf. Parents are dying. Xingmei decisively pulled Ryder to escape. The two thought they had gotten rid of it. The wolf did not expect. Now the demon wolf is watching them on the mountain. It turns out that the demon wolves are just playing with them as prey. When the demon wolf flew towards Ryder, Green Plum pushed him away. I was disemboweled by the devil wolf. But Green May doesn't regret it, because he said he would protect Ryder. Ryder is in pain. At this desperate moment, a giant swordsman arrived just in time. Fight to the death with the demon wolf. Then the heir resorted to a move of wind disaster. Slashed the wolf's leg. Let the devil wolf only give up the prey in front of him.
Subsequently,
the giant swordsman helped transport the victims back to the village.
Since then,
Ryder began to practice swinging the sword. He wants to fulfill the dream of gastroscopy for his childhood sweetheart. Become the most advanced adventurer. After listening to the giant swordsman, let's go find Ryder after he becomes an adventurer. And told him he must not die until he realizes his dream. Ryder knows the reason why the giant swordsman said this. I'm just afraid he won't find the motivation to live. He swore to kill that hateful demon wolf. Become a superlative adventurer like the giant swordsman. He's been doing this for 20 years. He is afraid of death. But I'm more afraid of not being able to avenge everyone. After hearing all this, Norino knew it was useless to persuade. So stop stopping Ryder. Drink blood. With a whole bottle of blood, Ryder suddenly fell into the abyss of pain. It's as if the whole body is being reshaped. He didn't want to be that unconscious monster. Vaguely, he heard Norino's cries. He still has dreams.
There are goals to be achieved.
Ultimately, with this strong obsession, Ryder regained consciousness. When I opened my eyes,
he has successfully evolved.
Norino also congratulated him on his successful evolution. Immediately, Ryder was stopped by Norino for inspection, but found that a pair of small wings grew on the back, and there are fangs growing in the mouth. Pupils become blood-sucking. Ghost-specific red. Fortunately, humans also have red eyes. LTT will not reveal his identity because of this. See Ryder change back to the way it was. Norino finally spoke his mind. I'll give it to you. Let you go. All right. The Undead Adventurer who backfired. The first season is over. I have to say this is a rare and excellent adventure story. The portrayal of the good person image of Ryder is very good. Use various times to explain where he is good. Why is it good? Therefore, it also makes various memories behind him seem reasonable, not obtrusive. Ryder's growth has also been shaped quite comfortably. It is different from the regular growth route of Long Outyen. Ryder is a long-term, underground adventurers limited by strength. And so, every choice counts. This also allows us to follow his adventures, gradually understand and identify with his motives and choices. But the downside of animation is pretty obvious. It's just that the funds are obviously not enough. The portrayal of the fight scene and some scenes. It looks shabby. Recommend friends who like to watch slow-paced stories. Don't miss this drama. As for the next, what will be the story of Ryder and Norino? Can he see his benefactor again? It won't be revealed until the second season. Finally, remember to help Sister Gwan follow and like it. Let's see you in Season 2.